Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy. Big Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you? I got a nice lesson from the book for you today, so let's get this party started. I'm excited. Let's go. Wrightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. The numbers say you tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thing is mission, and I'm on it. I was on it, and I'm excited about it. And I see the numbers like that, I just get real, real amped up. So yeah, excuse me, but I'm excited. Right thing is mission. That's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. And according to the numbers, I'm doing pretty good. So keep doing what you do for me. I'll keep doing what I do for you. Right thing is mission. Right thinking is way of life, excuse me, through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission that all right thinkers do just that. Know thyself. So I'm on my grind. You tune in and get your stuff from me. So we got a good thing going. I like that. The question, do you know you? Know thyself. And all right thinkers should be able to answer that for themselves. If you have a problem with that, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they even know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Keep tuning in. I got you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, is a spiritually asleep. That's okay. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. So I got you. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinking, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm in the book of life, the tree of life, yeah, but every now and then we still in the initiation phase. But now I got a good lesson for you today. The title is choosing the right, excuse me, choosing the spiritual path that's right for you. There's three avenues you can choose. Okay, I'm breaking it down for you right quick. Ain't gonna be long. I got about a page and a half, so I'm gonna run through it, break it down for you. Hope you get the lesson. So let's go. When you choose a format to study or a belief faith to follow, same thing, you may choose, you got what they call religious path, Christianity, Judaism, Muslim. Okay. Then you got the yogic path, philosophy of yoga, right thinking, all that good stuff. That's the yogic path. And then you got my favorite, the integral path, aka right thinking philosophy. Why? It combines the two. There you go. That's why. So remember, balance. You got to have religion and you got to have yoga. Bam. That's the way. Right thing philosophy is taught. That's why I teach it you that way. Let's go over right quick. The first concept is what we call the religious path. What's a religious path? What I had to do to that one? Glad you asked. Got it right here. In religious path entails what? Study of the particular myth. You hear it say myth. They didn't say true story. They say myth. Practice of the related rituals, and entry into what? Their metaphysical, mystical teachings. You need to study, if you're a Christian, the Bible. Simple as that. If I taught from the Bible, I'd be a preacher. So understand that. I didn't choose the religious path, obviously. Okay? But my best friends do, and I hang out with them, so I'm learning. Again, you may study the teachings of the examining the myths and discovering what their mystical content. There's a message behind the story. The esoteric meaning is in the Bible also. That's why you got preachers and ministers who break it down for you. But my thing with that is they'll take a phrase and turn it into a whole hour lesson. I want to get as many pages of information I could in an hour. So that's the difference in preaching and teaching. I'm teaching. I got a bunch of information I try to get to you. Hopefully enough that you can understand it, but I can slow it down when it makes sense to you. So that I've been told I talk too fast, but this is because I'm trying to I'm on the clock, so sorry about that. I'm trying to get better at that. Now, if you feel a strong affinity for what? For the images of the divine and the glories related about them in your myth as a Christian, you should choose the religious path as your main but not exclusive path. What it means is you can study religion, but you can study different religion concepts. That's fine. It's okay. Some people just do. I ain't mad at them. My, my pastor, he's, he's the one way do. But if you do one thing good, that's fine. You can be a jack of all trades. But if you ain't master one, you just a jack. But if you can do one thing good, you ain't got to worry about the rest of it. Why? You good at one thing. And when my man know that book, and I ain't got no problem with that. I know my right thinking, so we're on the same page. So studying is important. They tell you, and what are you doing? Studying to prove that self-worthy. So if you're religious, you study and you come well versed in the myth and its mystical implications by what? Reading related books, aka the Bible, daily bread, and all that religious concept. I see it out there. I understand it. That's what you do. Again, that's what y'all do. And you listen to what? Related tapes, gospel inspiration stuff, and but main thing is you're practicing the related rituals when prescribed. If you following the tenets of Christianity, you're a good Christian. I fellowship with those kind of Christians. I know about a whole bunch of them. I don't fellowship with them. That's the reason why. So that's the religious path. All right, let's get over here to the I'm doing good. The yoga path, my choice. For them in the East, they big on yoga. Why? Because it's a philosophy that you can adopt, use, and manifest for yourself. Not a whole bunch of belief mumbo jumbo. Sorry. The yoga path, what that mean? It means studying the mystical philosophy. See, they got a philosophy. Y'all have a myth. There's a story to get across a point. So I'll come get back. I done did y'all. I'm over here in the yoga spot now. But see, yoga give you a philosophical, mythical concept to practice all yoga paths. Watch this. But concentrating on one that resonates what strongly with your spiritual aspiration, your personality. You got a choice. Yoga of wisdom, yoga of right action, yoga of devotional love, yoga of meditation, and you got yoga of tantra. And got that yoga, but you got five of them, and either one you can practice and master. But you're gonna have to practice all of them intricately. That's my favorite word, the integral path. That's the next one. Right now we're dealing with yoga, so you pick one of them that resonates with you, and you follow. Watch this. If you feel a strong affinity for one or more of this disciplines, you should what? Choose that discipline as your main, but again, not exclusive path. Study and become what? Well versed in what? The disciplines, again, like anything else, you have chosen by reading the related books. I keep a bunch of them. And listening to what? Related tapes, if that's your choice of preference. And but the main thing again, practicing the disciplines when? Daily. And how? Regularly at the prescribed hours. If you choose a specific time to meditate, that's what you do. I choose whenever I get downtime and free time, I can go into a meditative state. So I use it in that term. I don't set time out. Then again, first thing in the morning after prayer, I meditate first thing in the morning. But during the daytime, it's all integral whenever I get free time. So understand that everything that you do, you're in control. So you dictate what it is. You set the precedent. But once you set it, you follow it. Don't set it today. Say, well, I feel like that. Yes, I don't feel that way today. It don't and won't work with that mindset. Last one, the integral path, aka right thinking philosophy. This is the one I use. Watch this and listen, you'll find out why. I'll help you out as we go, but I got another page, so let me get this. The integral path, right thinking philosophy, does what? Combines the two, religion and yoga, or you can focus on one book at a time, which is your choice. And this is the most consuming and the hardest form of practice. And why? It's if it's practiced artistically correctly, it can be the most effective. Why? Since it leaves no aspect of your personality untouched. See, that's why. The integral practice means what? Affecting the parts of the mind that yearn for what? Religious experience. I go to church every Sunday. I practice and fellowship with Christians. So that takes care of that yearning. That takes care of that. I'm covering that aspect. Perfect. Now, as well as the part which what is scientific. These are my books. Okay. I go back and get information. I go back and get facts. I analyze and do my due diligence to learn so I can bring it to you in a form that makes sense. You can understand it. Usable. How about that? I get it pure. I got to put a little cut on it every now and then to make it digestible. Some people can't take it pure. That's called the truth. Can you handle the truth? That's all I got for you. If you can't handle the truth, I ain't your man. Why? I'm gonna give you the truth. Moving on in the scientific concept, which study. Now, this path is what is taken by only who? Advanced practitioners and those wishing to what? Become even more advanced by what? Adding the disciplines to what? Fill every waking hour and every part of your aspect of your personality. You want it to be full functioning and doing this while when? Practicing righteous living and virtuous living while when at home studying, meditating, or practicing my favorite devotional rituals, etc. Everybody got their own way they worship and talk to God. I got my little mirror over there. I got my little spot. Everybody got a spot outside. So everybody got what they do. That's fine. Jesus told you, find your own space and do talk to God, you and him. I don't need a crowd to pray. You should pray with me. I do ancestral prayer. We do the what corporate prayer with my pastor. He's good at that. That ain't my thing. But I listen and I partake and I understand. But me, I talk directly. So moving on. Where we at? Oh, okay. Now, then you got another concept. Now you may contact the teacher by phone. You text me, I respond. Anybody who ever texts me and respond, I will always. I'm not that big to I can't answer no chat. I don't get that many, so I appreciate when I get them, and I always respond respectful and in kind. Okay, you send them, I respond. Thank you, I appreciate it. But also, anyone may feel free to contact the teacher directly for what? Listen, spiritual counseling, not personal. I don't do that, but you'll find out. If you come at me that way, I take care of that problem. Don't worry about it. There'll be no blind spots. There'll be no surprises. I'm an upfront, straight type of dude. But here's the book right here. The book Initiation into Egyptian Yoga. This is one of the things you can use to practice, and this is what I got it from, and I used it years ago. Now let's talk about it. The Initiation to Egyptian Yoga should be a textbook, okay, for what? Daily practice. This gives you the breakdown of everything you should do. And I learned it a long time ago, so I'm cherry picking the good stuff because some of it's a little long, but it's all pertinent information. I'm giving you the good stuff, the meat and potatoes, so to speak. All right, no fluff. All right, so let me get this right quick. Now, you got to use this book for daily practice. I did it for years. Now, it has several questions which should be answered first before beginning. Understand that. It contains detailed instructions on how to set up one's own personally daily ritual practice. I just told you. I got it from here. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is my book. The group, watch this. Now you can do the group thing. The group can help to what? Reinforce and support the individual. Excuse me. This is the main benefit of the group concept. Everybody should benefit from the group concept. If we're in a group, 5 people, and ain't but one person benefiting, that's not a group. You can stay by yourself. But the other 4 people got to really get the concept or interact, however to go. But I ain't big on groups. I don't mind, but I understand I'm a person type of dude. So if we want to share, that's cool. But that group thing ain't big on. Let me get to the next concept. This is the fifth and this is the last one, but it's the whole page, and I'll probably take up all my time. But this, I like this. This is gonna be what I got out of this book. Another important element of spiritual practice is what? Community work. I left to go to Patterson a few years ago. They were #1 in the worst place to live. I left there. It was #3. I did my job the best I could. So understand this. Your daily spiritual practices and group meetings can be seen as your formal spiritual practice. You also, watch this, you need to engage in what spiritual practice is where outside in the outside world. Why? Because this will give you the opportunity to test your validity of the teachings and to hone your spiritual skills, so to speak. I can read all the books so I get blue in the face, eyes get bloodshot red. But if I'm not employing what I'm learning, I'm not using it, manifesting to see if it works, what is the purpose and what's the reason? Understand it's important. If I'm a teacher, I have to study first. And study is the most important thing that I do as far as anything else. If you know me, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So you need to understand that. And I act this way all the time. So you will watch. You will encounter what temptations. I just told you, I ain't the man for that nonsense. Okay, women, I'm not out here looking for no woman. No, I got time for that. So I am the one. Temptation, you got temptation of all kinds. Yeah, that's how they come. Your boy, the devil, but he knows to just throw obstacles in your face. He don't mess with me. Why? I ain't the one. So watch this. And you may be what? You may be tempted with what? Ignorance. That's the first step. By who? Worldly people. I'm a street man, so that world, been there, got that one. Then you got drugs, been there, done that too. Then you got sense, pleasure, etc. Meaning cardinal, everything physical. You want money, everything you want to feel, to have. So that's all worldly possessions. And as a spiritual enlightened being, you get over that. Watch this. And now your task is to what? To become more spiritually strong by what? Taking recourse to what? Your inner self. What's this? Return to Jedi. Your inner self is called the Jedu. Jeddu. You change it, put the I on it. It's Jedi. I have Jedi forces. I can play the mind game too. So that's the idea, concept. I have the force. And I know how to use it. All right, I'm proficient. I'm a master. What's this? You will be able, here you go, to practice understanding and self-control when you are provoked by the world. I've gotten a lot better at handling those situations in the world, present company excluded. And watch this. You cannot expect to what progress. You cannot expect the progress in spiritual life if you just what study the teachings, reading books and discussing them, philosophizing about them. I can tell you how smart I am, how much knowledge I got, but just going off it. If I'm not giving you useful information, what is that going to do you? And you ain't that smart if all you can do is talk about how smart you are. So that don't work either. So, and again, putting it to use, implementing it when, Taylor. You need to what? Practice in what? Your daily life. With what? Your family, at work, at recreation, any time of prosperity, in any time of prosperity, and also in one time of adversity. I just gave you a lesson about that adversity. I'm gonna be the same dude, whether I'm on top or I'm on the bottom. Why? Because it don't make me one difference to be in these one situations when I have peace within myself. That's what right thinking philosophy and self-mastery is all about. Having that calm within yourself. So no matter what situation in life, you don't go on that roller coaster ride up and down, good and bad. Nope. Flatline. Stay cool. Maintain. That's the concept. All right. Okay, here you go. Again, if you're good when everything is going good, but every time an adverse situation you freak out, you have no self-control. Your emotions are still running the show. Your ego is still controlling you. Watch this. They need to grow deep into what? Your heart. So, a serious spiritual aspirant as yourself, which you should be, you must also practice them by what? Serving humanity. Let's check my right there. I'm here every day. Sometimes my face is swollen, my tongue is swollen, my eyes swollen. But if I can get on here and do it, I'm going to do that. Why? That's for humanity. Somebody need this. And from I got a few comments, somebody appreciate this. So that's why I do what I do for you. Again, as long as the numbers say somebody's tuning in, I'm going to keep doing what I do. I appreciate you too. And the numbers are growing, so I must be doing something right. So I'm getting more coming than leaving. I see some of y'all, Bill. I'll be watching. All right, but watch this. And understanding if you're going to serve humanity, you're doing that kind of work, that spiritual work. This falls under the discipline of what? Series of yoga of what? My favorite action, aka Maya. If you're gonna do Maya, as you practice the teachings, what you learn, I learn to teach. And what first of all, before I teach it, I implement it, I use it. And when you learn intelligently and you experience it, this experience purifies the heart. Purity of the heart. I just gave a lesson about that, how that works. It means what? Growing in selflessness, inner peace, contentment, and wisdom, etc. And you will speak Makaru from the heart. A pure heart speaks truth. A pure heart, purified heart will become more knowledgeable, more sensitive to the subtler meaning of what the teachings, which is mental peace, and thus a human being can promote their movement towards sublimation of the what? Ego. Bam. You can't do nothing if your ego is in the way. That's Goliath. If you're David, you need to slide, or whatever do, take Goliath out. Take the ego down. Why? It's only there as a preventive measure for those who are weak-minded and soft, and they really strong. Why? Because there's fear. They live in fear. Fear, the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. It looks insurmountable. It looks almost impossible. But we know anything's possible with knowledge of self, which is what really strengthens you. I'll leave that one there. Let's move on. But this falls under the deception. Excuse me. This falls under discipline. Right, when the ego is supplemented under control, what happens? A person can do what? Achieve meditation and spiritual enlightenment in a shorter time. Yes, the quicker you get the ego, the quicker you can get to where you want to go. And you should not go into the world where until when you are ready. However, you study, you do your practice of a daily spiritual life until what? You feel ready to expand on your practice. Otherwise, you will be risking what? Frustration and failure if you move too fast and too quick. Thinking because you got one aspect that you can just got enough, you gotta get everyone, cover every base. You can't cover base one and leave base two or three open, or cover base two and three and leave base one open. You gotta cover them all. That's what they try to explain to you. And if you, if there are any questions that you may have about your spiritual growth, you seek what? Spiritual counseling first. Lean not onto your own understanding. Get some help. Seek the book that Wisdom of Mayat and Healing of the Criminal Mind will help. But now the next one is the duty of a selfless service can be what? Carried out when? Several ways. Watch this. A spiritual aspirant can participate in a worthwhile community project. When I was in Patterson, that's what we did. Volunteering, etc. I ain't into volunteering, but yeah, we helped out the community by doing things to help the community. Cook out, barbecue, all that good stuff. I've done that. So also in yoga tradition, the highest form of service is service to what? The mission of spiritual preceptor. The task of bringing enlightenment to the world is what? The greatest form of selfless service and charity, because it what? It alleviates and eradicates what? The source of all pain and sorrow, not only of this life, but in those to come in the future. Therefore, a spiritual preceptor sage is seen as what? The most compassionate being on earth. The act of following in the footsteps of an authentic spiritual personality is seen as the what? The most laudable form of spiritual practice which an aspirant can practice. Follow me. Yeah, the aspirant can what? Help the message to get out by what? Promoting and teaching, demonstrating them to others through programs, teaching others, helping to produce the books of the preceptor. I ain't doing all that yet. In advanced stages, when the aspirant becomes proficient in he or she can what? Begin to produce what? Their own literature and their own educational material, whole classes, etc. Meaning, once you master yourself, you can start to help others, but you have to get yours first. Even if they are not reached enlightenment, the act of teaching allows an aspirant to what? Become motivated, hopefully and proficient in the teachings, selfless service to humanity. If is selfless service to humanity is a form of what action, but it's also a form of advanced love, yoga of devotional love, because it what expands a person's concern to what the entire world, and this expands their consciousness. This point is clearly made by the book of Coming Forth by Day. That's another way we are down here. As you give wisdom, you are giving more wisdom by the divine. Therefore, do not hoard anything and do not hold on to anything. All the knowledge that I gain, I try to give it to y'all. Why? That's what I'm getting it for, to give it. I can keep it, don't do me no good. So I share it. So just telling me I'm doing the right thing. Sharing your knowledge freely. I don't charge you to come and get the knowledge. I appreciate you. So watch this. And this will allow you to grow spiritually in great strides. And as long as you maintain freedom of selfishness, pride, and more important, egoism, you as an aspirant should always remain humble and consider yourself as a student. This attitude will prevent egoism. Hello, and this will allow their heart to purify and also expand. Always feel that you have been blessed by God to have come into contact with your teacher and allow yourself to be a vessel for the teachers to teach others. Open your heart to the joy which the teachings are bringing to you, the unburdening of the mind with the pressures of life, and the discoveries of what long-awaited answers to the most important question of life. Share this joy with others, but without attachment. Spiritual life is eternal awakening and the eternal feeling. Do not expect others to agree with you. Look only to what? Approval from your teacher and from the divine. You see me pointing up? That's what I point to. In this manner, you are serving the divine within yourself and eradicating your ego and ignorance, which is keeping you in bondage to what? Your lower self. That's the lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Didn't mean to take so long, but I had to get it out.